Hey everybody, it is that guy that sucks at Call of Duty bringing you another commentary through my semi-sick haze as I'm recuperating from a little bit of a bug that's the first, like, really, you know, bug that I've gotten in at least about a year. I was on quite an impressive streak, but I decided that if I'm well enough to just, do regular stuff like play games and, watch Netflix without watching like one episode and then immediately falling into bed lifeless, then I should be good enough to give you guys some commentaries. But so if you see any like jump cuts or cutting, it's probably because I need to take a second to just clear my nose or clear my throat. And I'm bringing you guys a, how can I describe this? Think of it as a proof of concept video. And what I mean by that is, ever since I started taking Call of Duty seriously, and ever since I got it in my head that, everyone always says, oh, I only play Call of Duty to have fun. But there's this mentality that, I play Call of Duty to have fun, but I think winning is fun. I think having a good KD is fun. And that's my mentality. And honestly, occasionally, when I use this mentality and I put together good scores, I run into people that call me a camper. And I will defend my playstyle and probably give you guys a much more in-depth analysis of my playstyle in the future. But when I say proof of concept, this right here is camping. I went into this game really honestly, and I mentioned in the past that it really doesn't bother me that much anymore when I'm called like a camper or a cheater. But for some reason, I wasn't in that good of a mood when I was, when I was playing this game. And I kept running into guys, and it wasn't the same guy, but for some reason, maybe just bad luck, I ran into a string of guys that, during this session, kept calling me a camper. So, going into this game, I figured, well, if everyone calls me a camper, I'm gonna play in a style that I think campers play in. So, I'm in Nuketown, and what annoys me so much about Nuketown is that you will have guys that do nothing but spend the entire game camping the windows and looking out on line of sight like this. And that actually was a pretty good move by that guy. He kind of like did all types of dance moves and avoided my bullets, so it was actually pretty cool on his part. But this whole tactic annoys me so much, and I think it annoys a lot of people, and I guess I just wanted to prove something to myself and to the guys saying that I was a camper. And I guess the goal of this video is to convince you guys of the thing that I convinced myself in this gameplay, and it's very simple. This is not fun. I did not enjoy doing this. It kind of was, I don't want to call it a labor of love because it wasn't like painful, but in a way it was hard to play this map this way for the entire match. But I wanted to be able to, I guess I wanted to not abandon my idea. I wanted to be able to plant my flag and say, I did it, I was a full-on camper, and I can finally say 100% this is not fun. And I guess before I get into the discussion of does this take skill, I want to talk a little bit more about why I don't find this fun. And I guess in order to best talk about that, it would be to try and kind of point out the positives, I guess, of this playstyle and why it doesn't work for me. And I guess the biggest positive of this like camp heavy style is that it really it gives you this feeling of like every life is important, especially in a game like Call of Duty where you can die constantly and respawn. You know, you're dead 1 second and you respawn the next second, and it's just constantly flipping spawns, constantly spawning, respawning, all that stuff. But when you camp, you begin to put importance into each and every life, and I guess this kind of slows down your play style. And if you start caring about your lives, you're gonna like minimize the amount of deaths you get, which will increase your KD. And you know, if you're one of those tryhards, hint hint, like me, that actually does care about his KD, you'll want to you'll want to maybe put some of these principles into practice. But there is a saying on the internet made popular by a little movie called Tropical Thunder, and that saying is going full retard. And you're never supposed to go full retard. And I guess my problem with this style is that you're never supposed to go full camper. Like, taking the time to learn some map knowledge to where you don't just run out blindly in the open and get slaughtered, that's not going full camper. Taking time to hold down an area rather than just rapidly doing circles around the map and trying to get lucky, that's not going full camper. Covering, not camping a domination point, but covering a point in domination so your friends can actually jump on it and cap it for you. I wouldn't consider that going full camper. This right here, this is going full retard. This is going full camper. And it's not fun. And if you find it fun, I guess we just don't agree with each other. Which is fine, but since you're not going to agree with my opinion anyway, I am going to go full retard and I guess dig myself into a hole if you are one of those guys that play like this. This is boring. This is boring, and the amount of skill it takes is honestly pretty minuscule. The things I'm doing here are some of the most basic, fundamental aspects of any first-person shooter game.
UAV on standby.
Really, really simple stuff, like always check your corners, always make sure you're behind cover, always make sure where your friends are, always make sure where your enemies are. You know, really, really basic stuff. You know, never try to be in a fair fight. Always try to give yourself as many advantages as possible. And it's not fun. It's boring to sit in a window the entire time. And I want to say about two minutes into this game, and you know, you'll see by the end how long this game actually went. But about 2 minutes into the game, I was just thinking to myself, this is not fun. And I kept thinking to myself throughout this entire game, this is not fun. I am not having fun. I had a good score. I went 33-7. In terms of, you know, just regular Joe Blow gameplay, that's pretty good. In terms of, you know, YouTube quality, I guess it's on the lower side of something that's, you know, YouTube acceptable, but trust me, I'll get to that. I'll get to that, giant mountain of an issue a little bit later. But I guess, I hope this commentary proves to you guys once and for all that this is not entertaining. And if you don't find this entertaining, and if you don't find my commentary entertaining, I'm honestly prepared to take the hit, and I will do my best to, you know, win you back in future videos where I mix, you know, I don't go full retard. I mix certain aspects of different playstyles together and form this weird Frankenstein hybrid that for some reason tends to work for me. Sometimes it doesn't, but every once in a while I get lucky and I put some good games together. But that's really the purveying message I hope I convey to you guys. This is not fun. I am not a camper. This is camping, and I really don't like it. I don't think it takes skill. And while I certainly, any other time, I would enjoy going 33-7, I didn't enjoy it. It was a hollow victory. And I can promise you guys, maybe sometimes in future videos I'll get a bit campy, but I will never, never do this again. So if you didn't enjoy the video, I hope you at least understood the point I was trying to make. And with that in mind, just want to say thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you later.